Welcome to the Yum Yum Yogi. Today we will be making pesto. This pesto is vegan and hence doesn't have any Parmesan cheese. Let's start by reflecting on this thought. I trust spiritual principles because I know that they work like an unseen hand guiding everything in a beneficial direction. First, we pluck the basil leaves of their stems. We will not be using the stems. So just take the leaves, and we are taking 2 cups of basil leaves, and for 2 cups of basil leaves, we will use half a cup of parsley, just a little bit of parsley. And then we wash both the basil and the parsley thoroughly because we will not be cooking these herbs, and these herbs have a lot of deposits on them like dirt and bacteria, so we have to wash them thoroughly. And now, let's roast some pine nuts. Take 1/3 cup of pine nuts. I'm using a saucepan. You can do it in the oven. And on medium heat, gently stirring for about 4 minutes. They burn quickly, so be careful. Now transfer those pine nuts to a bowl, and in the same saucepan, add a tablespoon of olive oil, some hing, a pinch. This is optional, of course. And some Italian herbs. Just a teaspoon of Italian herbs. And 2 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. The reason we are using all of these is because we are not using Parmesan cheese. We have to add all of these flavors. So just fry the tomato paste till the raw flavor goes away, and put this aside for now. And now let's process everything. We first process the parsley and the pine nuts. At this point, we will be adding salt and pepper to taste, and also a little bit of pepper flakes because I like my food with a little heat. The pepper flakes are optional. I'm sure some Italian grandma somewhere is going to banish me from the human race for changing the recipe like this. But if it's any consolation, this pesto tastes really, really good, so you have to try it. This is my go-to meal. I love pesto. And so process these all first. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Add the tomato paste mixture. And process again. We process the basil at the end. And while you're doing this, every single time you have to scrape down the sides of the bowl like you're saying. Now let's add the basil leaves. And we give it one final process. And for about 2 to 3 minutes. At this point, you can add 1 tablespoon olive oil. There, it looks like that. It's so delicious, so delicious. And we can actually freeze this pesto. It freezes very, very well. Just take it in a small container, airtight container, and put it in the freezer, and you can freeze it for about 6 months without a problem. And before you do anything, you have to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil on top before you put it in the fridge. I want you to remember, my dear friends, above everything else, trust spiritual principles because they work like an unseen hand, guiding everything in a beneficial direction.